Hey guys, welcome to WoW Weekly with Myst. And for this week, we have a bunch of new content and stuff. So, as usual, I will start with my goals. I don't believe I made any goals really last week. But of course, with the new content, our current goal is getting the rep to get revered and just doing stuff around the new areas, basically. That's going to be an easy goal. I really thought they would do something with the rep, maybe give it less rep per quest or something. I really was not believing that rep was all they wanted, because they usually make Pathfinder harder than they have. But for this expansion, it is the easiest Pathfinder I have ever seen. I have a couple of friends that are already revered. They already have flying. It's very easy. Granted, they just got it yesterday, but still, if you do absolutely everything that you can to get rep, you can have flying before tomorrow's reset. If you don't, you will have it by next week sometime. Yeah, which is the route I'm going. I'm in no rush to really have flying. BFA has kind of made it convenient, sort of. At first I wanted flying, but now I don't really see a huge need for it. For example, we have the whistle, takes us everywhere. Over in Mechagon, there's a booster pack, puts you up in the air, you can fly. The only place I really will appreciate the flying is Nazjatar, because Nazjatar, not a fan. Yeah, I do not like the Nazjatar area. It looks pretty, but other than that, no. Mechagon, I like it. However, I do feel like people are gonna get bored really fast. The fact that people have flying now on before the reset even occurs, and it's fairly easy to get the Mechagon cat out in Mechagon. The mats for that were so fucking easy. Even the mats that are worth 35k, which at first I thought that would be a great selling factor, but now seeing how often they drop, I think you'll have better luck just handing them to a casual that never logs in or something. But yeah, so the goal for this coming up week is to get the rest of my rep, so revered, in both Nazjatar and Mechagon. And then I guess this next part's going to sound kind of bad, but after I've gotten my rep, and of course I'll have Mechagon, or not Mechagon, but the Mecha Cat by then, because I have the mats right now. I could make it. I'm just holding it off for a video, so that will be an upcoming video soon, guys. And so once I have revered at minimum with those two, and we have flying, I'm probably gonna head back over to Alts, get them all leveled up, and because there's really not much I care to do. Even with the new content, it's good, but it's just not enough, and it still won't be enough when that raid releases on the 9th and the new mythics. Okay, so what is going on this week? We have Mythics, which will be the weekly. And then Midsummer is going to be ending this week. It'll end on Friday, and which is the 5th. And then Dark Moon will start on Sunday. So if you are taking your flying, your Pathfinder Part 2, a little more on the casual side, then that's perfectly fine. You'll have a buff for an entire week starting on Sunday. So if you're not in a rush. Okay, so for Mythics, we are on our last week of Mythics for Season 2. Next week, we will have a whole new season going on. So this is the last week we will have Reaping in the picture. For this week, it will be Tyrannical, which is when the boss has 40% more health and does 15% more damage. We'll also have Raging. That is when the adds in Rage at 30% health, and then they do like 100% increased damage. So basically, if you're a little unfamiliar with that one, because that is the most dangerous affix out of all the ones I'm going to mention here. So basically, when you see any add at 30%, you want to... Well, actually, you want them less. You don't want them to hit the 30%, right? You want them to have a little more. And then when you see that, swap to another ad. Try to avoid dots being put on that 30%. Because, yeah, if you've got a lot of ads on the table there, that can be a destroyer. So you kind of want them all to die together. And then we also have Necro as an affix, which is when the enemy's melee attack apply the stacking blight, and that increases damage over time, and it lessens the healer's abilities as well. So, okay, and then of course we have Reaping as well for if you're doing a key that is 10 or higher. And this will be the last week of Reaping, so enjoy it, guys, because the next time I tell you the schedule of Mythics, it will not be Reaping, it will be Beguiling. And in case you're curious what that one is, that is when Ashera's emissaries are in the dungeon. Okay, so now for news. There isn't a whole lot of news, guys. Not too much going on over on Classic. We still have the issue of no one being over there. I really think Blizzard needs to start inviting more people. It almost feels like they've basically said, okay, we've tested what we want. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So nothing really going on over on that side. Okay, so the next stress test for Classic, in case you guys are interested, is going to be July 18th, and you will have access to it till July 19th. I will mention again when it's closer, when we're doing the WoW Weekly right before it, mainly because that is still a couple of weeks away. And they have mentioned that they're going to include EU in here, so that should make EU a little happier. They've been pretty grumpy over this. And I guess I can see why, but because I played vanilla, I remembered that EU didn't actually have access to the game at all for a few months after we did. So I'm not surprised at all that they haven't been included yet. Okay, so there has been some guides that people have been making on Classic as well. Not a whole lot, but enough considering it's Classic, you know. Yeah, because the thing is, like, I don't mean that to sound bad, but there's still videos on YouTube from years back of, vanilla. So you could find out exactly what people were, doing back then. But yeah, one thing I have noticed is Classic has brought a lot of streamers to the equation. When I look in the WoW section now, there are a lot of people that I don't even know. I've, never heard of them, and, stuff like that. And yeah, so that is basically all we have. to extend a little more on the classic part, if you're interested in classic, feel free to join our community. I've been posting news there quite a bit. And I post the guides as they show up. So there'll be guides for you to follow and all that. And yeah. And of course there's retail news I post too. But there's just been way more classic news than anything because of new guides coming out and leveling. And on the topic of leveling, I can't remember if I mentioned this in another video. I might have. But if you're new, of course do whatever you want. But if you're new, my suggestion would be to not follow a leveling guide. That was the funnest part for me in vanilla was, just trying to find out where everything is. And I know a lot of people come up to me and they're like, well, I want an experience kind of like you had. And if that's the case, then that's the way to do it. It was different back in vanilla. I don't think anyone will ever quite have the experience that I did or that other people like me that played vanilla had. And the reason for that is because you couldn't, the community base wasn't the way it is now. Now, if you struggle on a quest, you hop over to Wowhead, And yeah, they had stuff like that in vanilla, but it was not as community-based. There were a lot of things you wouldn't find. There's a lot of stuff you had to find out on your own. But nowadays, you can just type in pretty much anything, and you will find an answer to literally everything you're doing in WoW. So it was really a different thing. You had to learn yourself. You couldn't just look something up. So that's where the difference is going to be. And yeah. And so that concludes that. On the topic of retail, there's not much. No, obviously we know that, Mechagon and Nashtar are the new things this week. And besides that, again, feel free to hop into the Discord channel, find some people to chill out with and stuff like that, play with. I've been making a lot of videos on that content. We just have something that's, going on YouTube right now. It's the Layers of Fear. We're just going to finish uploading that. And then I will be releasing some more videos. However, I did release a mount video, so if you do not yet have the Fabius mount, there is a video on the channel for that. I'll link it in the description. And yeah, like I said, there's many more that I have recorded since the patch dropped, and yeah. So that's all I got for you guys today. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you're having fun in Nashtar and Mechagon. Let me know what you think of the patch. And we will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.